Founder by Rand Fishkin. Rand Fishkin is the founder of Moz, a SaaS-based company which virtually dominates whole SEO market. In 2009, he was named among 30 best young entrepreneur under 30 by Business Week. After he left the Moz, he launched another company, Spark Toro. By this company, Rand is trying to resolve biggest marketing problem of current time, that is influencer marketing. Talking about this book, I can say this is the most honest book and authentic book ever written. Rand Fishkin literally explains everything from his life problems to life failures to his whole startup journey. He doesn't shy away from showcasing his shortcomings. It is a wonderful book and I really believe that everyone should read this book, and if you are planning to start your company, then this book is must. So here are the 3 important lessons which I learned. First is difference and the market approach towards service business and product business. Moz, as it started, was a service business, mostly focusing on consulting with providing SEO and digital marketing services. But as Rand Fishkin mentioned in the book, that in 2006 they come up with the transition from service to product-based business. It all happened accidentally. They just wanted to open access to some of their proprietary tools which they built for SEO related tasks. Things like tracking ranking in the search engine and checking for crawl problems. Well, at the end of year, they realized that big revenue difference in service and product business. So at the end of year, these were their figures in the revenue business. The revenue $4 lakh from consulting and $4,50,000 from software business. Surely it was a wake-up call for them. With these revenue figures in mind, they continue with a 2 business model, consulting and software. After running the business for years, here is what Rand Fishkin observations are. According to Rand Fishkin, there exists a bias for product-based companies in the industry. VCs tend to prefer product companies and avoid service businesses, as scalability of service business is a tough task. I will explain this by this example. For example, you set up a barber shop. You hired a trained professional and it becomes a hit in no time. And now you want to replicate the same business model in other cities. Here comes the issue of scalability. Though your idea and business model is great, but to set up a barber shop with the same business model in a different city, you will need a proper location, trained professionals, and time to build the whole setup. Hence, it is a time-consuming task. So, when it comes to scalability, it's quite hard for our service business. And let's say you have a product business. Your company is software-based company, and it may possible in just a matter of time you launch a product and your software is exciting and users are loving it, then it will really not going to face the scalability issue, because geography is not a matter with the software, because the subscriber you may get from any countries, any geography. So that's the reason industry is quite biased for the product-based business, because it's having its advantages when it comes to scalability. Second point, which Rand explained, is profit margin differences. When it comes to product business and service business, you will find a big profit margin difference. For product business, you will be generally getting a 75 to 80% profit margin, and for the service business, you may get a 25 to 40% profit margin. When I'm talking about the product business, it is basically for the software product I'm talking about. Third, I'm talking about acquisition scenario. Let's say you build a company and you are having a consulting or a product company, and after 1 or 2 years you want to sell the company. So how much you will be getting? For a service business, you will be getting probably between 1x to 2x, where x is a revenue. If your business getting 1 crore revenue, you will be probably end up getting 2 crores rupees. So for a product business, the multiplier is 3x to 8x. It can go on the upper level based on the technology you're having. So it is also, in this scenario also, product business give you a much higher returns. But that doesn't mean service business doesn't deserve a consideration. Service business actually possess some advantages over the product business. And what are they? Those are less capital requirement. You can even control scale, expenses, profitable business. Hiring cost is lower compared to the product business. Service firms are often superior financial deal for founder. And this is an interesting thing. If you're a founder and you're trying to build a business, then this is a very interesting thing that Rand Fishkin explained in the book. That basically if you build a service business, it is very more chances that you will be getting a more amount of money in a return when you sell the business. But when it comes to a product business, the chances will not be the same. And what is the reason behind it? That I'm going to explain by this chart.
So this is an example given by Rand Fishkin that how consulting business can give you a better returns than a product business. Here you can see Nikki's product business and Silvio's consulting business. As Nikki started her software business, she raised 2 rounds of financing, 0.5 million from angel investor in exchange for 30% of the company, and later a series A round from venture investor of 8 million in exchange of additional 40% of equity. The modest investment and 15% of share in the company she put in an employee option pool and distributed to team members means that upon sale she owned 15% of the company she started. So here you can see that 15% is owned by her, while rest is other, that is going to the investor and other things. But when it comes to Silvio, he actually own almost 100% of the company, as he don't seek outside investment and retain 100% of the ownership. So who is ahead when it comes to selling, and when it comes to what kind of return they are getting after selling? If we presume each got the medium valuation for this sale, Nikki made 15% of 40 million, that is 6 million, which you can see here, and Silvio made 100% of 15 million, that is basically 15 million, because he has nothing to give to anyone. So even in the exit scenario, we can see that there is a difference of 9 million, which Nikki is not able to, where Nikki is less than the Silvio's return. So it is basically the situation that Rand Fishkin explained in a normal condition, because when you are having a product business, it is very difficult that you will be owning much equity in the business, because you will be continuously getting a funding, so that will liquidate your equity. But this is not the case with the consulting business. You may based on your approach to the business can own a majority of the stock. So this is how Rand Fishkin explains that having a consulting business can give you a better results when it comes to when you compare it with the product business.
Now let's talk about the second important thing which I learned from this book. That is the importance of the focus. What is focus is the most important thing in everyone's life, and for the Rand Fishkins also this plays most important role. But even according to his words, how ignoring the importance of focus caused them a big loss. In Rand Fishkin's words, CEO Sarah stood on stage in front of the company and announced that we we would be laid off 59 of our 210 full-time employees. What was the reason for them to face such a situation? Lack of focus, period. Why focus is most important attribute to be considered. Moz, as known around the globe as a software company for SEO, that was the core competency and their strength. But then they tried to build a product for all vertical, be it social media, press, publication and content marketing. And focus shifted. They were trying to copy Microsoft and 37 Signal business model. So Moz come up with the Moz Pro, Moz Local, Follow Work, Moz Content, Moz Con Local, Keyword Explorer, Moz API. So these were 8 product line they were having. It turns out selling 8 different things to the people visiting websites more challenging than selling 2 or 3 product. And it was much harder to structure the team that supports 8 unique products. Every product and engineering team were expressing anger and frustration of being understaffed. And here it happens. Things were not going according to the plan. Demands were less. New subscriptions were less than expected. And it was a time to make a hard decision. To overcome this situation, they come up with 2 solutions. Focus on important products, cut the cost to sustain in the business. And when you want to cut the cost in high margin software business, people are often the only resource to cut it. That's the reason why focus is most important in your professional and personal life. Okay, so let's come to the third and most important point. That is, great products are rarely minimum viable. In another terms, what we all used to think is that something is greater than nothing. But it is not so. That having a minimal viable product doesn't mean you are actually going to lead in the market. How it is going to be? The fundamental concept is undesirably compelling. Craft a version of your product that require the least amount of time and effort to validate whether the product you are coming with solving the problems and customers are ready to pay for it. In popular notion and popularized by lean startup movement, it is expected from the company or early startup to come up with a minimum viable product so that based on user experience and user feedback, company can improve product in a near future. But Rand Fishkin explained in other different way because he had a different experience with the minimum viable product. Rand Fishkin also relied on a concept of MVP and he come up with a product line. He was working on a spam score basically. What is spam score? I will have to explain you. It is like when other sites link to my website, then Google see my website. It is a indicator that the website is good. But what if the sites which are linking to my sites are not a good one? They are a spammy one. Then Google see it as a bad indicator. So people want to get rid of those sites. So working with this team, Rand Fishkin, before starting on spam score, he were knowing what the customer actually wants. They wanted a web index that includes all the sites, Google crawl and index. They want definite spam score so that they can make a judgment on which to link to they wanted to keep and which not to. Building a product considering these important customer aspects would help them to build an exceptionally great product. But they come up with a minimal viable product, thinking that something is better than nothing. But in reality, it is not. and the product launch was a failure. It was not only failure, it was miserable, it was embarrassing for them, and even create a bad reputation among the SEO industry. Lesson they learned that minimal viable product is not something you should always go for. Your focus should be coming with an exceptional viable product. And what is exceptional viable product? And why for different companies coming with an exceptional viable product is more important than coming with a minimum viable product? Because if you're having a small business, you are just startup, your reach is not that big. If you coming with a minimum viable product and you try to solve any particular problem that exists in the industry, even if you fail, many people will not able to know because your presence is not that much. But this luxury is not for the big firms. Let's say Tesla coming with some shady product. Things not going to happen the same for them. It will become a big embarrassment for them. So I'm going to explain you why minimum viable product is not that everyone should go for, but a big company or company that having a reputation should go for exceptional viable product.
So guys, this is a chart between minimum viable product and exceptional viable product that is proposed by Rand Fishkin in this book. This chart basically explains between the correlation between product quality and attention of the customers when you launch MVP or EVP. When you launch MVP, the impact of the MVP remains small. It is quite small when it comes to the impact on the customer. And the quality of MVP always remain from pathetic to the good. It never goes to the incredible level or impressive level. But if you wait till you reach to the quality level that you can consider yourself as truly impressive, then it may make a decent impact on the customer, and that may actually increase the value of your brand in the market. So this is what Rand Fishkin explained in this map, that how companies should go for MVP, and that is in the long run going to help the brand to build their great customer base.